Nobody gets away with what you did. Nobody.
What happens when you've got a fashion designer venture and dabble into something completely different?
I've been thinking about him a lot lately. And then recently he sent me this book that he's written. It's violent.
Last night, I was pleasantly surprised by a movie that was not only produced and directed by a fashion designer, a very well-known for that matter, but it was also a screenplay that was written by Tom Ford. I would have to say I like the movie a lot, and if you don't know if you should watch it, well, I'll give you some reasons why I think you should. First and foremost, if you like Jake Gyllenhaal and you think he's a good actor or he's good looking or both, then you should definitely watch this movie. He does show his acting chops in this. There's a lot of sadness and desperation in his character in the film. So Jake Gyllenhaal is in this, and so is Amy Adams. And interestingly enough, Isla Fisher, who I always thought was her look-alike, is in this movie as well. And they play a character that is very connected to each other, so I'm not going to tell you exactly how because that's going to spoil the movie for you, but I thought that was pretty cool that Tom Ford actually saw that. They said, you know, these two actresses, they look so much alike, we need to get them in a movie together to just like, you know, mess with people. But even my husband would always say, oh, it's Isla Fisher. I was like, no, that is Amy Adams, and he'd confuse Amy Adams for Isla Fisher and vice versa and always have to like correct him and say, no, believe me, it's the other actress. They just look alike, that's why. And that's the guy who is in Kick-Ass. His name is Aaron Taylor Johnson. It's so hard to remember his name. He is in this movie as well, playing a character I think I've never seen him play ever.
It's fun to kill.
And I'm talking about, you know, he's played a geeky guy in Kick-Ass. And then he's played like a superhero as Quicksilver, right? But in this movie, he's the villain in this movie, and not just any kind of villain. He's like one of those creepy trailer trash villains. So it's a character that he's never played before, I think, in my mind. And so I had a hate-love relationship with this film. First and foremost, I started not really liking it somehow because it seemed kind of slow, but, you know, the actors in it were really good, and so I had to say to myself, I have to just keep watching because they must have said yes to do this movie for a reason, right? So I keep watching, and as I keep watching it, I start loving the movie because it takes you to 3 different storylines, and there's flashbacks here, and then there's this storyline here, and right during the moment where you've got like a climactic situation going on in one story, all of a sudden it jumps to the next story. And so all of a sudden you're finding yourself glued to the screen because you want to find out what is going to happen in that other story that you were left hanging with. So that was the love part of the movie. And then I started not liking it because in the end it just ends like that. And you're left going, what in the world just happened? What did I just watch? And you really have to analyze the movie and the story to try to figure out what in the world just happened. And in a way, as I started thinking about it, after I started hating the movie, right? Because I was like, what kind of ending is this? I started to gain that love relationship again with the movie because then it kind of joined together into this, you know, picture that at first I just saw as a jumbled jigsaw puzzle. And pieces started connecting, and then I realized what the ending meant, and all those other things that were happening in the movie kind of made more sense. And so then I was like, okay, I do love this movie. I mean, I wouldn't say that Nocturnal Animals is my favorite movie or one of my favorite movies, but it's definitely one of those movies that I think as a film fanatic, you should watch at least once in your life. I mean, there's several of those that I can think of already, and some of them already have Jake Gyllenhaal in it, actually. Donnie Darko's one. Requiem for a Dream is another one. I mean, I wouldn't want to keep watching it over and over again. Like, watching it once is enough, and then kind of internalizing what the movie is about learning from it and just appreciating the art that was involved in creating the movie. And the screenplay was written by Tom Ford, produced by Tom Ford, and also directed by Tom Ford. Although it's not his directorial debut, he directed another movie with Colin Firth as the lead actor called A Single Man some time ago, I think in 2009 or something, and I haven't seen that movie, but now I want to watch it. Tom Ford film, Nocturnal Animals, I liked it a lot. If you have not seen it yet, you should definitely check it out, and if you have seen it, please do let me know what you thought of the movie. Please comment below this video and let me know what you thought. In the meantime, bye!